Welcome to The Tech Thrill, where we review the top tech products. In this video, we'll be going over the top 5 best camera for beginners. Number 5. Canon T8i. The Canon T8i, released in early 2020, is an advanced camera in many ways, and it includes almost all of Canon's newest bells and whistles. But it costs $900, the second most expensive camera on this list. The T8i sports an excellent 45-point autofocus system in the viewfinder, and it has a tilt-flip touchscreen. Perhaps even more important is that the T8i includes Canon's famous dual-pixel autofocus to focus quickly and accurately via the rear LCD screen, whereas most DSLRs mainly focus well through the viewfinder. It also has Canon's newest 24-megapixel sensor for excellent quality images and shoots in 4K video. It and the SL3 are the only two cameras on this list that have 4K. Compared to the prior Canon T7i, it has 7 FPS instead of 6 FPS shooting, and somewhat better battery life, 800 versus 600 shots. At least consider the less expensive options before you make the leap. Number 4. Nikon D5600. Next up is the Nikon D5600, which is one of the best entry-level DSLRs available today. So why didn't I rank it number 1? Recently, Nikon decided to boost the D5600's price with a kit lens from a brilliant $550 to a less exciting $800. That's enough to shift this camera pretty far in the rankings. So, if you're looking for the best autofocus system on this list, arguably the best camera sensor, a great lineup of native lenses, a tilt-flip touchscreen, and a lightweight kit overall, the D5600 is an excellent choice. The only issue is the price. At $550, it was a no-brainer and clearly the number 1 camera on this list, while at $800, it's overpriced. That said, I recommend checking the current price. If you find it even slightly on sale, it's probably my number 1 recommendation. If you want to save money, you can always buy an older model from the Nikon D5600 lineup, many of which are available used or refurbished for a great price. Number 3. Pentax K70. If you want a combination of top build quality, advanced controls, and a tilt-flip screen, look no further than the Pentax K70. This is an excellent and overlooked camera for beginners, and it's a good value at $750. With a 24-megapixel sensor, 11 viewfinder autofocus points, and 6 FPS shooting, the K70 is a highly capable camera with few downsides. It even has hybrid AF in live view, similar to Canon's dual-pixel AF and great for video shooters. Any issues with the K70 depends upon your personal requirements, including how much you're willing to invest in a smaller DSLR company. Canon and Nikon are certainly more established names in the camera business, with a larger camera and lens lineup should you wish to upgrade in the future. That said, Pentax does also make some full-frame DSLRs, so you do have an upgrade path if you pick this camera. Number 2. Nikon's D3000 lineup is arguably the best value for DSLR today, and the D3500 is an excellent continuation of the previous versions. This is often the first DSLR I recommend to my friends who want a camera. The D3500 is currently $650 with a kit lens. Nikon has gradually raised the price of this camera over the years, but at $650, it's still a solid value. To start, the camera's LCD does not tilt or flip at all, and it's not a touchscreen. Video shooters especially will want to look at something like the Nikon D5600 or Canon SL3 instead, which fixes those problems. The D3500's autofocus system also has pretty low specifications, although it surprised me in practice with how accurate it was. Still, the D3500 only has 11 autofocus points in the viewfinder, simply not enough to track a subject around the entire frame. If you're photographing something that moves fast like sports or other performances, you might want a camera with a better autofocus system. Look at something like the D5600 or Canon T7i for good autofocus on a reasonable budget, or the Canon 77D or Pentax KP if your budget is a bit higher. Number 1. Canon Rebel SL3 250D. The top camera on this list is the Canon SL3 EOS 250D. It's a great camera and tremendous fun to use. The SL3 is tiny and lightweight, yet the grip is still comfortable, and it has some of Canon's most advanced features, including the newer 24-megapixel sensor. The main features? The SL3 has an excellent touchscreen LCD, with a full range of tilting motion for easy composition. It still lags slightly behind Nikon in low light. Video users also will be happy to hear the SL3 has dual-pixel autofocus, the least expensive Canon camera to include it. Alternatively, you can still buy the older SL2 used for less money. The SL2 also has a tilt flip screen and dual pixel AF. It just doesn't have 4K video, and its battery life is a bit worse. Everything else is the same between the SL2 and SL3, and that's what it takes to be number 1. That's it for our list. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, click the next video for more product reviews. Until next time, this has been The Tech Thrill.